Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Zheng Yibing here in Palenque, the city in the southeastern part of Mexico. Now we're at a very mysterious and historic relics here that belongs to the ancient Mayan people. Joining me now is Mr. Ma Wenjin, who is also working here for the train Maya. Well, that is connects to all the historical sites across this area. Mr. Ma, thank you for joining our show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Because you are the host for this show today, so
Yes.
please introduce something, the general information about this place.
Okay, sure. Firstly, welcome to Palenque. Welcome to Mexico. We're now standing in one of the most important Mayan culture place in the whole world. Palenque was one of the biggest city in the ancient time before Spanish people arrived to Mexico. So here right now this is the place where the high rank people of the Mayan society lives. So our left side here is like the palace where the lords lives with their family, and in front of us is the only pyramid discovered right now used as a tomb.
Well, so in this area, we can see a lot of the elements of the very beautiful jungle here in Mexico. And also we see the two giant buildings here. The first one,
Yes.
just like you mentioned, this
Yes.
is a palace for the high-ranking people from the ancient Maya city, Palenque. They live here and work here, and they talking and holding parties here. Everything
Yes.
is holding here. And not far away, that is a pyramid.
Yes.
And you said it's the only pyramid which is discovered for use of the tomb
Exactly.
for the high-ranking people.
Yes.
So this really magnificent places to be. So you come here constantly because you're working here for the train Maya. Let's talk about the first thing, because a lot of people when they thinking about the Maya, the culture, ancient culture, they were thinking about the pyramids. How many pyramids in this whole area you can find? Or let's talk about the biggest example.
Yes. Okay. Big pyramids right now we have like five.
Not five.
This size, but this is as we say before, this is the only one used as tomb.
So what about other pyramids? What they are used for?
Yes, the other pyramids are temples, temple for gods, because pyramids are very mystic buildings for the Mayan people. It means a connection with the god.
Connection with
With
the god.
yes.
From the ground, for the people,
And to the top, to the sky.
to the sky.
Yes, and so the most of the pyramids are used as temples, temple for God. But this one is the tomb of the Pakar. Pakar is lord of this city of Palenque. Lived in between around the years 600. It's BC.
Oh, it's
No, I mean AD.
it's almost 1,400 years ago.
Yes.
Or much longer than that history.
Yes, and he's considered as as a very powerful man, and he's bring a lot of prosperity to the city of Palenque. So he thinks he's the reincarnation of the god of maize. So when he died, he built this pyramid as his tomb to rebuild the connection between him and the world of the gods.
Yes. So this is the only example of this type.
Yes, exactly.
And,
Yes.
we can see how many steps here and how many tiers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 tiers, and on top of that is a main building.
Exactly. And the number 9 is very unique. It's a very special number for the Mayan people because it means the levels of the underworld.
The levels of the
Underworld, yes, because when you die, even you are a god, but you have to enter into the underworld to reborn as a god.
Reborn as a god.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a pretty like Chinese ancient Chinese philosophy karma.
Yes.
Means the life after life.
Exactly.
The experience all of them. This is part, and we can see a lot of the visitors and the construction workers. They're here. And let's get back to this building, this palace. This is really a sacred place. But you mentioned back in ancient times, the people, especially the Han-ranking people in the city, they only then could live and work here, right?
Exactly. And this whole rich area are only for the high-rank people. The normal people, the normal civilians cannot enter this area because it's very unique, it's very specific. And this building is, as you say, is named the palace.
The palace.
Okay, this where the Lord of Palenque lives and works and do their ceremonies. Okay.
They set up the structure that encompasses palaces distributed on around inner courtyards, forming a complex group of buildings, open spaces, corridors, underground galleries, the drainage ducts, and towers that must have been used as an observatory.
Exactly.
Well, the buildings usually have two passageways interconnected by doors and windows, mostly shaped as the arches. The great structure is the end result of any number of architectural changes made over the period of more than 400 years. That's really a long time.
Yes, because the Mayan people, they don't have metal tools. They use stone against stone to make the to make the construction. So this is a very slow work, and this needs a lot of time. So 400 years is, this is a lot of time to build something.
Yes.
Okay, and the highest tower we see behind us is observatory.
Observatory.
Yeah, because the astronomy for the Mayans are very important. They think that the stars on the sky can give us message from the gods. So they have this group of elite people to watching the stars or skies every day. So thanks to that, they had the most exact calendar on this era in this time, and that time I mean.
Okay. So it's pretty much like the Chinese philosophy. I mean, the ancient time, the people pay closer attention to the astronomy. Astronomers, usually from the royal palace, they usually make very precise calendars to observe the day changes and the four seasons.
Yes.
Every day's like that. So here in the city of Palenque, or other parts of the historic sites of the Mayan people, exactly the same.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost.
I mean, is that the similar here in the Mayan culture?
Oh yes, because they also believed in the connection of the stars with the people.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ma, what are these things?
Okay, they are local paints, represent the Mayan culture. The cycle we see here is a Mayan calendar. We have a calendar holder, which and all the symbols surrounding means a month of year. We can see 18 symbols because they divide the whole year in 18 months and 20 days in every month. So that's 360 days. And there are also 5 special days for the religion ceremonies. So in total, there are 365 days per year.
365 days
Yeah,
per year is exactly the modern one.
Exactly, yes.
So I see the tour guide is introducing something. What is he saying?
Okay, this is something this is a stone we formed inside of the Pakar's tomb. This is how to see, this is a stone to cover the 棺椁怎么说？
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on.
And the man, we can see a man sitting on some kind of chair, and in the middle there's a structure looks like a rocket. It's a rocket. It's very straight, and this for a long time this is a proof sometimes some people think that the Mayan people had the technology to navigate into the space because this is a manipulating rocket, a modern rocket. But as we say before, in truth, this is the representation of the King Pakar reincarnation. And the structure we see that is like a rocket is indeed maize. It's a plant of a maize.
Okay.
Because
so like you said, if it's not maize, if it is the rocket, it could explain perhaps
Yeah.
why the Mayan people disappear suddenly.
Okay, maybe yeah,
Yes.
they just go to the space.
So that tablet or something, the blanket is covering on the coffin of the king here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what about other places?
Okay, we have the obsidian knives because obsidian is one of the hardest stone we can find in Mexico. As we say, they don't have metal tools, so they use the obsidian to cut something. So and they used obsidian to make a knife, every blade they need. Okay, so we can see some local handcrafts with local animals, with a jaguar, with guacamaya. It's a Spanish name.
There's a special kind of birds.
Yes, it's like how to say.
I'm envious of these people's life here. They have this very beautiful setting here. It's a beautiful scenery and fresh air, and everything that you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay.
And the name of Palenque is given by the Spanish. The original name of this place is La Canja. The Mayan word is La Canja.
La Canja.
Means the place where is a rich resource of water. So we have many rivers surrounding, and this is one become the mountain to provide the water to the whole city.
Yes, we can cross this bridge, and this is a connecting point. It's
Yeah.
just like I suddenly realized that you were working for the train Maya.
Yes.
This is a very special ribbon line connecting all the places. I mean, historic sites around this area in a circular line here.
Yes.
So, from your perspective, what the importance of building this river line and letting people to see these beautiful sceneries and how you're doing that?
Yes, sure. One of the most important big problem for the people to become to Palenque is the transportation, because we're inside a very middle of mountain, and on this there's no highway to connect to this place. So to build a train is the most efficient and the most it's the fastest way
method,
to make the connection. And when the people talk about Mexico, they know Mexico City, they know Cancun, but they don't know Palenque. Yeah, but and the idea of the Mexico president is to bring every tourist, everyone to visit Mexico to know this very beautiful place of Mexico, and to have a better economic development of this area.
Just like the people here, they are selling the local souvenirs. It's really beautiful.
Yes.
But in the past, it's very difficult to get here. But now, with the 1,000, how many kilometers long?
In total, there are over 1,500 kilometers.
Okay, 1,500 kilometers. And Palenque is the start of this road line.
Exactly, it's kilometer zero of the whole line.
Yes, it links all these beautiful places together. So in the future, after this program, I'll bring my families, my friends, to come here to see what Palenque really is and what this place really is.
Yes,
so
I'm
next,
sure.
You talked about the three tiers of the city. The first tier is for the ordinary people.
Yes.
The second tier is for the places we just visited. This for the lords, the high-ranking people.
Yes.
And what about the third tier?
The third tier is the highest tier, is where the gods lives. So we're going to climb to the highest point of the city.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Zheng Yibing here in Palenque, here with my friend Ma Wenjing, who's walking for the train Maya. He's one of the operators for the river line. And we are heading to the other parts of the historic site. That is for the gods' temples in this place. So follow us. Temple. What does this mean?
Because there are so many temples, and there's no name, only put numbers. So number 16, number 14. Okay.
What a beautiful place. The air is so fresh.
Yes, and we're surrounded by all the nature.
What about this? Plaza de la Cruz. What does it mean?
Oh yes, of course. Plaza de la Cruz is a Spanish word. It's a Spanish name because and is the name given by the Spanish when arrived Palenque. Okay, means the original name of this place is Plaza, is a square of the gods, because this is a part where for the Mayans where the god lives between the peoples, and this is the highest point of the whole city.
The whole city.
Yes, because for the Mayans the world is divided in three levels: the gods, the human, and the underworld.
And the world.
Yes. The underworld means is a place when the people goes when they die.
So walking along this path, I was really entranced by the beautiful sceneries, like the jungle beings.
Yes.
And the temple over there.
And
we're here.
yes, this is the Temple of the Cruz.
Temple of Cruz.
Yes, but
So I see the 1, 2, and 3.
Three.
First 3.
exactly.
So one by one, could you introduce these temples?
Yes, sure. So firstly, the biggest one is the Temple of Cruz, also known as the Temple of Maize, because the god of maize is the most important god for the Mayans of Palenque. And then on our right side is the Temple of the god of water.
So the water.
And our left side is yes, and this is the temple of the god of sun.
Here I see from the east, the sun rises in the east, and always the sunlight when it goes into the temple. So it is the temple of
Exactly, the
sun.
temple is faced to the east, and is the side where the sun rises every day.
So it correlates with the Chinese philosophy, the ancient culture, because back in my country, in China, there were 5 elements. For example, wind, fire,
Yes.
water, soil, and wood. There were very important 5 elements in the ancient Chinese people's philosophy. So what about these 3 elements? I mean, the sun, the water, and the maize.
It's like the same philosophy because they are the 3 basic elements for the Mayan culture for their daily living. Because the main food for them is a corn, is maize, and to make the maize grow, they need the sunlight and the water. So here is a combination of the 3 most important elements
So
for them.
this philosophy, so these 3 elements, is, in a word, is a philosophy of the people's life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? There are the temple of the sun. It was dedicated to the god. How to pronounce that? G3 or?
Templo del Sol, that's a Spanish name, and the original name is Hill. It's Gill.
Oh,
Hill.
Hill.
Yeah.
So this is a
The-
very special pronunciation.
Exactly.
The panel in the sanctuary represents the Paco L and the B, Akan Kenichi, who ordered the construction of the building and the tablets.
Yes.
Wow.
So most of the building we see right now are built by the King Pakal. which is the most important leader of the history of Palenque. Okay.
So we can go there to the main secretary. I mean the main temple.
Yes.
Temple of Maize. I'll follow you.
Let's go.
I'm envious of you because you're working here and you can come to this place over and over again. So
Exactly. And
the many history details, you know that in mind.
yes, and I enjoy that. It's a very interesting part of my job.
Okay. The complex of the cross and the triad of Palenque.
Yes, the complex of a cruise, because as we see, when the Spanish arrived this place, they saw that there's many crews on the top of every building. So they found a relation of the Mayan with the Catholic church. So they named this place the complex or the square of Cruz.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Yes.
So let's climb over that steps and get on top.
Yes,
of the
it's a
temple.
little bit difficult, and we should do it very careful.
Okay.
Okay.
Halt. Now, after the very difficult climbing, and we are now on the top of the Temple of Maize. So, Mr. Ma, tell us something about the history of this sacred place.
Of course, we are now standing right now in the highest point of the ancient city of Palenque. The highest point means this god, the god of maize, is the most important god for the Mayans. So, because this is the food of the Mayans. Okay, so if we see the place surrounding us, we have the god of maize, the god of sun, and the god of the water, which are the three most important elements for the Mayan culture.
The three elements, the three gods, I'm standing here, or just sitting here, looking around. I mean, the ancient temples and the trees and beautiful sceneries and sunshines. I feel really, really touched. Suddenly, I feel the inner peace in my heart.
Yes.
So this is really, really a sacred place. As for this Temple of Maize, what's inside these three gates?
Okay. So inside the main gates, the biggest one, we can there was a sculpture of the god of maize originally, but then the sculpture was stolen by the Spanish when they invaded Mexico. So now we can only see some geographic letters when our Mayan write the history is inside the temple.
Well, we can also see some kind of the sculptures, but it is only a decoration on some characters in ancient language. So in ancient times, I mean, the people Mayan people would give would send the sacrifice here for the gods, right? So what would it be the sacrifice?
So firstly, in this place, in Palenque, where we're standing right now, they didn't make the sacrifice of the human sacrifice. Here they just bring some food, some meat, some jade to give it to the god. So the maize, the god of maize, didn't need a human sacrifice. That's another god. So there's not this place, not right here.
Well, they're truly gods for people.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, looking around, this place is really beautiful. And also one of the things, on the base of this temple, we saw some inscriptions. It's meaning as Temple of Cruz. So what does that mean? Because we already know this is a temple for maize, the corn.
Yes. If we look at the top of the temple, we can see some squares, some square picture. So when the Spanish arrived this place, they saw that square and they made a relation with the Catholic Cruz. So they named this place the Temple of the Square. I mean the Temple of Cruz. But originally, all the squares means maize.
And let's talk about something more. This is about the gods of the water The gods of the sun.
Sun, yes.
So these are two other important elements besides foods. Tell us something about these two gods or temples.
Of course. For example, for the temple of the sun, every eclipse, this eclipse.
Yes, eclipse.
Eclipse. Okay. That means it's happened twice at the year. One in the springtime and another one in the autumn. So in the when the eclipse happens, you can see the sunlight. The first ray of the sunlight directly inside the temple.
Oh, really?
Yes, the first ray of the sunrise directly inside the temple in the time of the equinox.
So I see in ancient times the Mayan people, they have the very good calculation about the calendar, everything during the whole year, the 4 seasons, and the timing of the sun. The sunlight into the temple.
Exactly, and the sunlight inside the temple means the beginning of the agricultural cycle, the beginning. Okay, because when that happened, the Mayans began to put the seeds inside the still 播种怎么说来着？
This is the growing plant.
Yes, and then came the rain, and the plant can grow.
Okay.
And in the autumn times, when the light hits the temple again, and that means the times became the time of 收获
Of the harvest.
Of the harvest.
So it's the sunlight into the temple means it's very beginning of the growing the seeds and the plants and the whole process for harvest.
Yes.
Okay. So what about the temple of water? Well, I see the structure is a little bit different from the other two.
Exactly. We can see many curves in the foundation of the water's temple, because the water we know the water don't have it's not a solid form. So that's why Mayans made the temple in this very curved form, because it's not square. It's not a solid form.
Okay, so this is a really interesting an introduction to the 3 ancient temples, the very mythical and very mysterious. Thank you so much. And you told me there are very interesting part of the historic relics. Is it called the playing ground or the for playing football or something?
Yes, it's not really football because you cannot hit the ball with your foot, neither with the hand or the head. You can only hit the ball with your the hip.
Oh, the hip.
Yeah, only the hip. So it's not really a football.
Okay.
Okay, and that's a very interesting game for the Mayans, because in these games there is a sacrifice.
Okay.
But when they play the game, there are 7 players by team, and there are 2 teams playing.
In a team.
Yes.
Okay.
Why 7? Because 7 is the number of the basic calendar cycle.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I'm so curious that I wanted to see that place. So please guide me there. Show me around.
Okay, let's go.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Okay, so now we're back to the human level. Okay, so behind us, this is a place where the Mayan lords lived. Okay, so this is like a palace.
So we came back to this place again.
Yes.
So that's the basic layout. And in the distance, what is this place?
Okay, this is another very interesting point of the Mayan culture. This is the game, the ball game we talked before. They call it Bok Da Bok.
So
this is Mayan Bok Da Bok.
Bok Da Bok.
Yes, it is a name for the game. And this is a song when the ball hits the wall. Bok, dak, bok.
So I wanted my video cameraman to take to you.
Yeah.
Please to demonstrate that again. 你可以
Okay.
给他来再来表演一下。So
Yeah,
what is
sure.
the pick bop duck?
Yeah, the sound bok, duck, bok. It's a ball. There's a sound that the ball makes when it hits the wall of the camp, the square.
Your
Okay.
description is lively and vivid.
Thank you.
So that is a place, that is a playground for the ball game, right?
Exactly. And
But I don't see
okay.
any points here. Can you give us the details?
Sure, and it's a little bit difficult to imagine how the ball games in the ancient time. So firstly, this game will celebrate 2 times a year.
You showed us down here.
Yes, okay. Okay, one in the springtime and another in the autumn. So when they play, there will be 14 players
14 players.
in total, divided in 2 teams. Okay,
So now we are entering the yard.
we are entering the yard. Yes, this is a play yard. Okay, so usually there will be 2 stone rings
Stone rings.
on the top of this structure.
For example, at this side there's a stone.
No, I mean here on the top, of this structure. So we see this surface, and the stone ring will be right here. Okay, facing. So when the 14 players will try to put the ball through the ring of the another team.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
once the ball crosses the ring, means this team wins the game.
So where are the seats for the audiences?
I'm sorry.
Where are the seats for the audiences? 就是那个观众席。
Okay, yeah. The seats of the audience they are on the top of the
I
this
see.
structure.
These two too big.
Yes, this
is actually
exactly.
for audiences to sit to watch the game.
Exactly, and not everyone can enter to this year to watch the game. Only the lords,
Only the lords, I mean these high-ranking people.
Exactly.
Of the city.
Yes.
I heard there is a very special rule about this game, and which is also very cruel from our perspective. Can you
Yes.
explain that?
Sure. The player who can put the ball through the ring means the winner is seen like a very brave, a very intelligent people. So that's a very good offering for the Mayans. So they will sacrifice these people to dedicate his life to the gods.
Well,
And-
according to the ancient philosophy, well, only those who are really brave and the smartest and who can win the game these people can turn into the sacrifice for the gods.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, this is quite out of my imagination.
Yes, but it's very difficult to understand since our perspective. But for the Mayan people, that's very normal, and this scene is like an honor. It's like an honor for them. And
So,
yes,
yes, this is a really, really surprising, but really detective, very ancient philosophy and knowledge. So, looking around this place, what about the temples? What about
Sure.
these? This
If-
one and this one.
if we see our surrounding, we are in the lowest part of the city.
Now, here is the lowest part.
Yes, and the lowest part means this is a representation of the underworld. Okay, so those buildings means the temple of the dead of the night,
Of the night. Yeah.
of the moon, of the death. So everything related to the dark side, to the death, to cold, to the negative. Okay, so we have the positive side and the negative side.
Positive side and negative side. And,
Yes.
These is just like the ancient Chinese philosophy.
Exactly.
Yin and yang.
Yes.
Day and night.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ma, and introducing so many interesting philosophy and knowledge and the details of the Mayan cultural and historic site here in Palenque. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Palenque in southeastern part of Mexico, and today, with the help of my friends, Ma Wenjing, he's also the Chinese, basically
Yes.
here, working for the railway line, which is called the Tren Maya.
Maya,
He's been
exactly.
working here for several years, and he came here over and over again. So he introduced a lot of details about this place. Thank you so much for watching this special program about the cultural relics here in Palenque, the ancient Mayan people. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.